Hi guys! So I had a few people request that I do a brow tutorial. So today I'm going to be showing you how I do my eyebrows. There's no right or wrong way, everyone's different and unique, everyone has different shaped eyebrows. This is just how I do my brows. I didn't just want to do my eyebrows, I wanted to do the whole face as well. If you would be interested in seeing a tutorial on how I do my face, then let me know in the comments below and I will film one for you guys. So if you guys want to see how I do my brows so nice and sharp, then please keep watching. For this you're going to need a brow pomade, concealer. I really like the LA Girl one for carving out my eyebrows just because it's got this little brush on the end and just makes it easier to apply. Also, you're gonna need a small angled liner brush and a concealer buffing type brush. So this is a Zoeva concealer buffer. You're also going to need a primer. So I always prime my eyebrows before I put them on because it's always the first thing that I do and I want it to last as long as the rest of my makeup. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this and pop this on my eyebrows. I'm also going to be putting it in between my eyebrows because I put concealer there while I'm carving them out. And in between your eyebrows, for me, I find can be quite dry. So I want to try to take away the dryness from that. So I'm going to take my angled liner brush. This one is really small. I prefer to use a small brush for my eyebrows so that I can get as much control as possible. I did used to use a thicker one and it made it a lot harder. So I'm just going in with my pomade. This is Jet by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Getting a little bit on the brush on each side and then just kind of wiping off the excess. I always like to start in the arch of my eyebrow, so I start there and work my way back. I do the bottom line first and then I'll do the top half. So we start here and draw this line all the way down and keeping that quite sharp. Bring it forward a little bit. And it doesn't matter if it gets a bit messy because we can clean it up with concealer afterwards. And now I'm just going to go in with the top half. So I start here, do my kind of curve and then go downwards. So starting here. Just kind of bringing it down a little bit. Now I'll just colour in what I've just done. Now that's coloured in, I'm just going to bring this bottom part down, almost all the way down, but I'll leave a little bit of a gap there so that we can kind of get a bit of an ombre effect. So I do a little bit at a time and then move down. And now I'll move to the top and just trying to keep it the same thickness all the way down. And now I'll start blending this part into this part. So as I was saying before, doing a little bit at a time, and then like once I've done that bit, I'll go down a little bit further. Now with the center part, I'm going to, instead of continuing going straight down, I'm going to kind of curve it upwards into the middle so that it's almost as if the eyebrows are joining up in the center. So I just kind of draw across like that. And then matching that same thing that I've done on the bottom to the top. So, a bit of a curve. Now I'm just using what is remaining on the brush and just using that to darken up this inner part and blending it in with this darker part of the outer end of the brow. With eyebrows, it's always a little bit of a trial and error for me. I never get it perfect the first time. So I'm just going to go back in with a little bit more of my Dipbrow and just use that to make this transition here from the darker part into the lighter part just a bit more seamless and blended. And I'm going to go back in over top of the darker half because I don't want to be putting too much product on this part because you're just going to see it straight away. It's not going to blend very well. So I'll do this part and that will kind of get the majority of it off the brush so that I can blend it down.
Yonder music.
Okay, that brow is pretty much done. It does need a bit of tidying up, which I'll do with the concealer after, but for now I'll just do my other brow. The hardest part about doing eyebrows well is to get them to be symmetrical. So I've finished this brow pretty much, but it's not completely symmetrical, so I'm just going to go back in and kind of try and get them to look even. And I'm always trying to get the top of this brow in line with the top of this brow, and the same with the bottoms. So working my way inwards. Alright, that's pretty close. I'm gonna leave it like that because once you start messing around too much, then you end up adding a little bit more here and adding a little bit more there, and you just end up with huge brows. Okay, now we're going to clean up the eyebrows. So using your concealer, you can either use a concealer like this which has the brush on it, or if I was using a concealer like this, I would simply grab a concealer brush and just dip it in and do the same process. But I like the little brush that comes with it, so I'm going to be using that. So I'll just squeeze a little bit out, and I basically do it in the same order that I would be applying the pomade in. So starting under the arch there and then doing the top and working my way in towards the center.
Yonder music.
Now that I've carved it out, I'm just going to take my blending brush and just blend this outwards. eyebrows looking nice and sharp, I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. During this step, when I'm doing the second brow, I'm using the concealer to try and line up these middle bits here so that basically it looks like a mono brow with the middle bit taken out, so it's fully symmetrical. It's usually quite hard to do, but I find that using the concealer to shape them, to get them to be more even, is quite helpful. Now just blending it out again. Okay, the last thing left to do is just to put some concealer in the center here, because I don't want my brows to be so close together. So for this, I'm taking this LA Girl concealer, but I'm popping a little bit on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of dab that on so I'm not smearing the pomade around, and I'm getting a bit of an ombre effect for the brows so it's not a harsh line. So that is the eyebrows done, looking nice and sharp, a bit of an ombre blend in there. Yeah, so that's how I do my eyebrows, guys. And now all there's left to do is just complete the rest of your face. I always do my eyebrows first because I want to carve them out using the concealer, and then when I apply my foundation I can kind of cover it so it's not this band of white concealer. I know some people, they carve out the top of their eyebrows using foundation instead, but I just think that concealer has a better coverage, so I'd rather use concealer. So I'm just going to do the rest of my face. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Hopefully you picked up a few tips or tricks on how to do your eyebrows. There's so many different ways of doing eyebrows. This is just the way that I do them. There's no right or wrong. If you did like this video, then please like and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications as well so that you don't miss any future videos from me. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you in the next one.